In the previous lesson, we have learned how to create properties and methods inside a class. When defining properties and methods, we used the keyword public in front of them. The public keyword is the visibility or access specifier for the properties and methods. The visibility specifier for a property or method specifies from which part of the code one can access that particular property or method of a class. Properties and methods inside a PHP class can have any one of these three visibility levels: public, private, or protected. If a property or method of a class is declared as public, it means the property or method is accessible from inside the class, from outside of a class, including from inside of a child class of that class. We will see what child classes are in the next lesson when we learn inheritance. If we didn't specify any visibility explicitly for properties and methods, then they have public visibility. If a property or method of a class is declared as private, then it means it is accessible from only inside the class. It is not accessible from a child class or anywhere outside of the class. The private visibility can be set using keyword private. If the visibility is declared as protected, then the property or method is accessible only from inside the class or from inside of a child class of that class, not from anywhere else. In this lesson, we will learn what is the difference between public and private properties and methods. We will see what is protected visibility only after we learn class inheritance and concept of parent and child class, because protected visibility is related to inheritance. Let us try to understand difference between public and private properties and methods with the help of some example codes. So I have opened our project folder in the editor. In the previous lesson, we have created some public properties and public methods inside the vehicle class. And we were able to access these properties and methods from index.php, which is outside of vehicle class. So it is obvious we can access public properties and methods from outside of a class. Also, we were able to access public properties vehicle_color, vehicle_price through different methods inside vehicle class. Even though we have called these methods from index.php, these methods exist inside vehicle class. So it is clear public properties of a class are accessible from inside the class. Now let us see whether public methods of a class are accessible from inside the class. Let us say we need to get vehicle summary for both vehicle objects like this. For object vehicle 1, green Volvo bus cost 50 lakhs. Similarly, for object vehicle 2, red Honda car cost 10 lakhs. Now let us create a method inside vehicle class to perform this task. We will set method visibility to public so that we are able to call the method from index.php. So inside vehicle.php file, public function get vehicle summary. This is the new method name. curly braces. Now inside this method we need to get details like color, make, type and price of the vehicle object that is accessing this method. In order to access vehicle color of current vehicle object, we can use $this arrow, then name of the property which is vehicle underscore color, but our intention is to check whether public methods of a class is accessible from inside the class. For that reason, we will try to access the vehicle color of current vehicle object through the public method getVehicleColor that returns the color of vehicle. So inside getVehicleSummary method, $this arrow getVehicleColor parenthesis. So if result of this is the color of the current vehicle, then it means public methods are accessible within the class. Now we will add a space after vehicle color like this. Now to get the make of the vehicle, $this arrow vehicle underscore make. Since we haven't created any methods inside the class that return make of the vehicle yet, we can access vehicle underscore make property directly. Now let's add a space after vehicle make. Now we need to get the type of the vehicle, that is whether the vehicle is a bus, truck or a car. Here also, since we have not created any method that return the vehicle type, we will access the vehicle underscore type property directly. So $this arrow vehicle underscore type. Now let's append the string cost as we have seen in the slide. Now one more thing we need is the price of the vehicle. Here we have already created a public method getVehiclePrice that returns the price of the current vehicle object. So $this arrow get vehicle price. Semicolon. Now we will return the entire string. Now save the changes we added in vehicle.php file and open index.php file. Let us add a line break after word dump statements. Echo br. Now let us call getVehicleSummary method on both vehicle objects like this. $vehicle1 arrow getVehicleSummary parenthesis semicolon. Similarly $vehicle2 arrow getVehicleSummary semicolon. Also, let's add a line break between these statements. Also, we have to echo these values. Now save index.php and open index.php inside the browser. So you can see we are able to get all properties of both vehicle objects, including vehicle color and vehicle price. So it has become clear that public methods of a class are accessible standing from inside the class. We have learned that public properties and methods are accessible both inside and outside of the class. But what about private properties and methods? What differentiates private properties and methods from public properties and methods? Let us understand this by another example. Suppose the on-road price of the vehicle is the sum of price of the vehicle and 8.5% tax rate on the price of the vehicle. Let us define one more public method inside vehicle class that returns the vehicle's on-road price. We are setting the method visibility as public because we will call this method from index.php, which is outside of vehicle class. So let's create a method public function get vehicle on road price parenthesis and opening and closing curly braces. Let us assume tax rate is the same for every type of vehicle, bus, truck or car and so on. We will need one more property inside vehicle class that represent the tax rate of the current vehicle object. And we will refer this property only from a method that calculates tax for the vehicle object inside the vehicle class. So we will set the property visibility as private. Private $tax underscore rate equals 8.5. There is no need to access this property from outside of vehicle class. Inside getVehicle onRoad price method, we can calculate the vehicle onRoad price as this arrow get vehicle price, which will return the price of the current vehicle object, plus this arrow get vehicle price %8.5 of current vehicle price, which is multiplied by 8.5 divided by 100 semicolon. Now to understand the usage of private methods, we will move this logic of tax calculation into a new method inside vehicle class, which need to be accessed from only inside getVehicle onRoad price method, that is inside of vehicle class. Hence we can set its visibility as private. So we create a new method private function calculate vehicle tax parenthesis opening and curly braces. Now inside this function we can calculate tax for current vehicle object as this. We can return this. Now inside get vehicle on road price method we can call this private method to get the vehicle tax. So $this calculate vehicle tax, and we can return this calculated on road price. We have also created a property inside vehicle class tax underscore rate that holds the tax rate. So we can replace this, instead of hard coding the tax rate, $this tax underscore rate. Next open index.php file. At the bottom we can call get vehicle on road price method on both vehicle object. So let's add a line break. First let us call get vehicle on road price method on vehicle 1 object. So $vehicle1 get vehicle on road price. Let us echo this. Now one more line break. Echo $vehicle2 get vehicle on road price. Now save the changes in index.php file and reload the browser. You can see on road price for bus object is 54,25,000, which is 50 lakhs plus 8.5% of 50 lakhs. Also on road price for car object is 10 lakhs 85,000, which is 10 lakhs plus 8.5% of 10 lakhs. So it is clear we can access private properties and private methods of a class from inside the class. Now let us see whether we can access private properties and methods of a class from outside of the class. Inside index.php, let us try to access tax underscore rate, which is a private property of vehicle class. So open index.php. At the bottom echo $vehicle1 tax underscore rate. Now save index.php file, and if we reload the browser, it will throw an error saying cannot access private property vehicle tax underscore rate. Let us also try accessing calculate vehicle tax, which is a private method of vehicle class inside index.php. So at the bottom, instead of this, calculate vehicle tax. Now save changes and reload the browser. Again it will throw an error. Call to private method vehicle calculate vehicle tax is not allowed. So it is clear we cannot access private properties and private methods of a class from outside the class. So how you should decide the visibility level of a property or method of a class? The best practice is to set the class property or method visibility level to minimum. That means if a property or method need to be accessed only from inside the class, you must set its visibility as private. If they need to be accessed from a child class of the class other than from the class itself and not from anywhere else, set their visibility as protected. If they need to be accessed from anywhere outside of the class, set the visibility as public. In this way, we can prevent unwanted access of properties or methods of a class inside the code.